नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं 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 अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं. Yeah, now it is settled. Sorry. So, I had a severe stomach infection for last 4-5 days, and this had brought in a lot of weakness in me. So I was not able to take yesterday's class, but today I am fine, and we continue with our course. So we had completed chapter 1 of Vitrag Vigyan part 2. So today we will be doing the chapter number 2, lesson number 2. So in the first lesson also, this was in a poet form, but it was also about paying homage to the gods, scriptures, and monks. And the second lesson is also about that only, the god, the scripture, and the monk. But this is prose form, and that was on the poem form. This is a conversion between two friends, Subodh and Prabodh. And before that, we will see the brief introduction of the author of this particular chapter. So, Acharya Samanbhadra. Acharya Samanbhadra, very powerful Acharya. He was known for his logical power. He used to get involved into debates with scholars of other religions, and then with his skill and the intellect that he had, he used to defeat them. And in those times, it was like that, if I defeat you, then you will accept my religion. And if I lose to you, then I have to accept your religion. So he entered into debate with many scholars of other sects and defeated them. And he was very confident about his knowledge and his logical explanation. The life story of Swami Samanbhadra, who always remained away from worldly fame is practically unknown. It is true for all the acharyas. They never wanted to write anything on their personal life. And that shows that how noble and humble they were, uh, in spite of having so much of talent and knowledge. They didn't want themselves to be famous. And that is something very unique with our acharyas. It has been a characteristic of the Jain acharyas that though they wrote splendid works, they did not write anything about their own lives. Whatever little is available is not sufficient. He was a prince of Kadam dynasty of kings. So he was also a Kshatriya, and he was the son of a king of Kadam Vansh dynasty. He was named Shantivarma in his childhood. He was born in Urakpur town on the bank of the river Kaveri in the Deccan. He was alive till Vikram Samvat 138. So we can see that he was here in the 2nd century. And as we are seeing that most of this highly learned acharyas has been from the south. Kunkunga Acharya was also from Chennai, and this Acharya Samanbhadra is from Deccan. Acharya Amrit Chandra was also from there. So at that point of time, religion flourished in south more than the north. Nothing is known about his family life. He was initiated into the order of Digambar Jain saints at an early age. So he became a monk at a very early age of, I think it is around 11 years. Then he passed through hard penances and obtained a very deep knowledge of God and soul. Besides being a great scholar of Jain philosophy, he was an incomparable master of logic. Just because he was a master of logic, he was able to defeat the scholars of other sects apart from Jain, like Vedanta, Bodh, and Mimamsak, and many others. There were around eight other what we call different kinds of religions apart from Jain. So he was an incomparable master of logic, grammar, prosody is Chand Shastra, poetry, and lexicography. Lexicography is Kosh, dictionary. He was possessed of a matchless power of exposition of the holy texts. He shattered the pride of perverted orators of religious thought. So he defeated all those perverted orators of other religions. He writes, I roam about like a lion for exposition of the religious truth. So he was so much of confident of himself that he writes about his own self that anyone who wants to challenge Jainism, he is always welcome to have a debate with me. And I'm quite confident that I will be able to defeat you. So he used to throw up an open challenge to other religion scholars. The later acharyas have remembered him with great respect. He is known as the first writer of verses of adoration, Stuti Sahitya. So he was the first writer of this Stuti Sahitya. He has imparted strength to lyric poetry. His verses of adoration are full of great logic. So it is not an ordinary stuti or adoration, but it is full of great logic. He wrote Apt Mimansa. Again, it's a poetry, lyric poetry of adoration. Apt Mimansa, Tatvanu Sasan, Yuktanu Sasan, then Swambhu Stotra is again a Stuti Sahitya. Jin Stuti Satak is again a Stuti Sahitya. Ratnakaran Sravakachar, very famous Sravakachar or describing the 12 woes of a householder. Prakrit Vyakran, Praman Padarth, Karma Prabhritika, and Gandhasti Mahabhashya. This is not available right now. So our monks were like, he got a thought that he wants to write something for the future generation. So he used to write in a tal patra, and then he used to keep there and go away. It was only the good Shravaks and the householders who used to collect all these tal patras and preserve it. And that's how we are getting this scriptures in written form. The present lesson has been written on the basis of the first chapter of Ratnakaran Travakachar. So in the Hindi version, the verses are also given. It is verse number 5, 6, 9, and 10. Again, 5, 6 is for true God's definition. 9 is for true scriptures definition. And 10th one is for true monks description. So this is a conversation between two friends, Subodh and Prabodh, and begins with Subodh and then Prabodh. So I would like somebody to read this whole chapter and then I will explain. So Prinalji, would you be able to read? You have the textbook with you? Prinalji Tolia. Or Jaini ji?
Yeah, sir, I have the textbook.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it.
Yeah.
The God, the scripture, and the monk. Subodh, where are you going in
Yes,
this?
Rajesh, sir.
Okay, we will take you next time. Or Jaini ji?
Yes, you want me to read?
Yeah, sir, I have.
Now, Jaini madam
So I'm
is
reading it.
reading. So later on, I will
God,
again
the
tell you.
scripture,
Okay?
and the monk. Subodh, where are you going?
Yes, Rajesh, sir.
Where are you going in this garb
Okay, we will take
so
you
early
next
in the
time.
morning?
Or Jaini ji?
Prabodh,
Yes,
I am
you
going
want me to read?
to the temple
Now,
to worship
Jaini
God.
madam is reading.
Hello.
So later on, I will.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there was some disturbance, so now I'll start.
Yeah, now we start.
Subodh, where are you going in this garb of a recluse so early in the morning? Prabodh, I am going to the temple to worship God Jinendra. It is the 14th day of the month. I offer my homage to the Lord on all the 8th and 14th days of the month. Subodh, whom do you thus adore? Prabodh, I pay homage to the gods, the scriptures, and the saints. Subodh. What God? Prabodh. In Jainism, a person is not important. It believes in the worship of qualities rather than persons. Subodh. So what attributes should be there in the God? Prabodh. True God is one who is free from worldly attachments, omniscient, and a preceptor of the welfare of all. One who has no like or dislike for anybody is unattached. He does not possess the 18 blemishes of birth, death, etc. He does not feel hungry or thirsty. In fact, he is the one who has conquered all desires. Subodh. I have followed what is being free from worldly attachments. But what is omniscience? One who knows all is omniscient. One whose consciousness has developed to the full, one who knows everything, things that happened in the past are happening and will happen in the future at one and the same time, is omniscient. Subodh. So one who is without attachment and aversion and is possessed of perfect knowledge of the universe is a God. Prabodh. Yes, it is all right. Whatever the precepts of such a person will always be true and good to all. Since his preachings are beneficial to all, he is called the preceptor of welfare of all. Subodh. Why are his teachings true and good? Prabodh. One tells a lie due to ignorance. When one is possessed of perfect knowledge, whatever he says must be correct. When he has no attachment or aversion, why should he utter anything not conducive to the welfare of beings? His teachings, as such, are true and good. Subodh. I have known the attributes of true God. What are the scriptures? Prabodh. The teachings of that God are scriptures. Since he is not attached to worldly affairs, his teachings are also conducive to detachment. The, the precept that religion lies in attachments is not the teaching of one who is detached. The nature of the fundamental elements has been explained in his teachings. Above all, his teachings have no contradictions. Subodh. What do we gain by reading all this? Prabodh. A person is saved from treading wrong paths and gets right direction. Subodh. This is all right. I have known the nature of God and the scriptures. Guru, monk, is our own teacher, is it not? Prabodh. Our teacher is our pedagogue. We should give him due respect. But the monk we worship is the Digambar Jain saint only. Subodh. So, why don't you say that a Digambar Jain monk is the real Guru? It is very simple. One who is naked is called a monk. Prabodh. You have not followed the whole thing. Monks are all naked, this is true. But nobody becomes a monk by virtue of nakedness alone. They possess so many other attributes. They understand the mysteries of the preachings of God. Subodh, what other attributes belong to them? They are always busy in contemplation and the study of the self. They have no worldly belongings. As such, they are without their worries. They have no desire for sensual joys. Such ascetics are called monks. Subodh, they must also be very learned. Prabodh, of course, none can really adopt asceticism without the knowledge of the self. Subodh, do you mean to say that without self-consciousness, all the external conduct and observances are useless? Prabodh, the root of the matter is to understand the soul and rest in it. Right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct, an external mode of life, according to the scriptures, are the qualities of a true monk. Subodh, so you are going to offer your homage to these. I shall also accompany you. But tell me what we shall gain therefrom. Prabodh, you are again talking nonsense. We worship them in order to become like them. They renounced all worldly possessions. How is it proper to beg worldly things from them? Thank you.
Very nice chapter. And you can summarize, if you can summarize, then you will see that there are three major things, three major definitions. First is of true God, and then scriptures, and then of course the Digambar Jain monk. So first we come to the God. What one thing that is again very important, in the beginning only they have mentioned that in Jainism, a person is not important. It believes in the worship of qualities rather than persons. So we do believe in worshipping the qualities, not the person itself, but the quality that he possesses. And because of those qualities, he has acquired this post. So what are the attributes of a God? True God is one who is free from worldly attachment. Free from worldly attachments means passionless, vitrag, omniscient. So vitrag, omniscient is sarvagna, and a perceptor of the welfare of all. That means hitopdesi, sabka hit karne wale. So in one line, if I want to answer who is a true God? True God is one who is free from worldly attachments, that is, who is passionless, omniscient, and a perceptor of the welfare of all. One has no like or dislike for anybody, is unattached. So one who is free from worldly attachment means he does not have a longing to like somebody and dislike somebody. Because if you like somebody, then a feeling of attachment is always there. And if you dislike somebody, then a feeling of aversion is always there. So one who has no like or dislike for anybody is unattached. He does not possess the 18 blemishes. 18 blemishes is dosh of birth, death, etc. Then senility is old age, chara. Then rog. Then birth and death, janma, maran. Then seventh is fear, bhai, pride, mad. Ninth one is attachment, attachment is rag, aversion, dvesh, grief, grief is dukh, worry, worry is chinta, delusion, delusion is moh, then there is this one, mourn, uneasiness. Uneasiness, arati. Then sweat, sweat is pasina, sweat. Then sleep is nidra, and surprise. Surprise is ascharya. So these are the 18 blemishes, and a God who is passionless will not have these 18 blemishes. He does not feel hungry or thirsty. So the first two of the 18 blemishes that we discussed just now. In fact, he is one who has conquered all desires. So the biggest factor that is causing misery is the desire. If you don't have any expectation, you will never have any kind of passions like anger, pride, deceitfulness. So no desire, no pain. So desire is the chief cause of our all kinds of misery. So the true God has conquered all types of desire. So he's now desire free, and that's why he is happy. I have followed what is being free from worldly attachment. But what is omniscience? So I know the passionlessness quality of the true God. Now tell me about the omniscience. So omniscience is Sarvagna, one who knows all. One who knows all. All means past, present, and future. And all aspects of this world with its attributes and modification.
Guruji, can you tell 18 blemishes that
Once
could
again,
not- 18 blemishes?
hunger, thirst. I'll write it and share in the group instead of, okay. I'll write it and send in the group. So you can write it down from there. So now we are talking about omniscient. One who knows all is omniscient. Sarvagna. Sarva का जिसको ज्ञान है is called Sarvagna. One whose consciousness has developed to the full. Consciousness is Chetna, and when we say Chetna, it means Gyan and Darshan, both good. Knowledge and perception. One who knows everything, things that happened in the past are happening in the present and will happen in the future at one and the same time. Same time, simultaneously, is omniscient. So we are also possessing that quality of omniscience, but we are not able to manifest it right now. But if we follow the instructions of the 5 Parmeshtis and walk on the path enumerated by them, then we will also become God one day, and then we will also become omniscient. And when we become omniscient, we will also be able to know about each and every substance, attributes, and its modification of all the past, present, and future. So we had studied about two qualities so far. First one was passionless, and the second one was omniscient. Now we move on to the third one. So initially when I explained you the definition of true God, so I said that true God is one who is free from passion, and one who is omniscient and a perceptor of the welfare of all. Vitrag, Sarvagna, and Hitobdeshi. So one who is without attachment and aversion, one who is without rag and dvesh, and is possessed of perfect knowledge of the universe is God. So perfect knowledge means Sarvagnata, Keval Gyan. Prabodh, yes, it is all right. Whatever the percepts of such a person will always be true and good to all. So by precepts means the sermons of the omniscient, the sermon of the gods. Okay. So in those sermons, whatever they preaches will always be true and good to all. Why it will be true and good to all? Since his preachings are beneficial to all, he is called the preceptor of welfare of all, Hitobdeshi. Then there is a next question. Why are his teachings true and good? उनका उपदेश सच्चा और अच्छा क्यों होता है? सच्चा is true, अच्छा is good. So let's see the answer. One tells a lie due to ignorance, right? So there is no question of telling lie because they are not ignorant. They know everything. When one is possessed of perfect knowledge, whatever he says must be correct. So one tells a lie only when there is ignorance. Since there is no ignorance, he is possessing perfect knowledge or keval gyan, and he knows everything. So one who knows everything, why he should tell lies? So his teachings are always true. And why his teachings are good also? अच्छा क्यों है? When he has no attachment or aversion, why should he utter anything not conducive to the welfare of beings? उनका उपदेश अच्छा क्यों होता है? क्योंकि he has no attachment, राग भी नहीं है और aversion, द्वेष भी नहीं है. जिनको राग द्वेष नहीं होते हैं, why should he utter anything not conducive to the welfare of beings? So whatever he says is always good to the welfare of all living beings. His teachings as such are true and good. So for true, there is a separate logic, and for good, there is a separate logic. For true is the logic is because he is in possession of perfect knowledge. And for his teachings to be good, the logic they have given is since they don't have any attachment or aversions with anybody, why should they utter anything which is not conducive to the welfare of beings. So whatever he says is always be conducive to the welfare of beings, and so his teachings are good also. So this was all about the true God, and now we move on to the scriptures. So the teachings of that God are scriptures. So scriptures is nothing but the sermons of God, true God, or the teachings of that true God. Teachings or preachings, whatever we can say. So there are three exclusive qualities through which we can identify whether this scripture is true scriptures or not. So what are these three qualities? First one, the teachings are conducive to detachment. ये जिनवाणी वितरागता का ही पोषक करती है. So this is the first one. His teachings are also conducive to detachment. The precept that religion lies in attachments is not the teaching of one who is detached. So this is not the teaching of one who is detached or one who is passionless. So राग में वितरागता, राग में धर्म होता है. So this is not the true teaching of true God. So the second quality of true scripture is, first one is कि his teachings are also conducive to detachment, vitragta ki poshak. Second is the nature of the fundamental elements has been explained in his teachings. So tattva ka updesh, okay? Nature of the fundamental is tattva, fundamental elements is tattva. And the third quality is, above all, his teachings have no contradictions. So three major characteristics of a true scriptures are that the preachings of the true scriptures should be conducive to detachment. Vitragta ke poshak. The second quality is कि इसमें तत्वों का उपदेश होता है. It explains the nature of the fundamental elements. And the third one is his teachings have no contradiction. पूर्वा पर विरोध नहीं होता है. At one point it is written like this, and the other point it is written something different. It never happens. It has no contradictions anywhere. It may appear to be contradictory to you just because you don't know all the viewpoints. So some things are said from some different viewpoint and some things are said from different viewpoint. So you have to understand that viewpoint from where it has been said. And once you understand that viewpoint, then only you are able to understand the true meaning of the sermons. So it is very important. So now we move on to the monks, but before we move on to monks, what do we gain by reading all this? A very important question. What do we gain by reading all the true scriptures? A person is saved from treading the wrong path and gets right direction. So what do we gain from reading true scriptures? The true scriptures always saves us from moving onto a wrong path. Nowadays, this is very challengeable. It is very difficult to get to the true path. And we are very fortunate to get to this true path. And the second part was, and gets the right direction. So on the one hand, it is saving us from going to the wrong path. And on the other side, it is giving us the right direction. So it is very important to get the right direction because nowadays you move through highways, and if you take a wrong turn, then you have to travel quite a long distance to come back, take a U-turn, and then come to the original point, and from there you take the right path. So these true scriptures are always helpful to us. They save us from treading on the wrong path, and also gives us the right direction. Very important. So now we have explained you the nature of true God and the nature of the true scriptures. Now what is left is about the true monk. So he says, Subodh says, true monk is our own teacher. Is it not? Our teacher is our pedagogue. Pedagogue means Vidya Guru, one who teaches us is called pedagogue. One who teaches us academically in the school is called our preacher. We should give him due respect. They are our teachers, no doubt about that. But the monk that we worship is the Digambar Jain saint only. It's the Digambar monk only. So who is a true monk? So the first quality is he should be naked. Digambar Jain saint only. He should not wear anything. He should not have any possession. Okay. So that is the first quality. So why don't you say that a Digambar Jain monk is the real guru? It is very simple. One who is naked is called a monk. You have not followed the whole thing. Monks are all naked, that is true. But nobody becomes a monk by virtue of nakedness alone. Then all the animals on this land would become monk because they are also naked. But that is not the only quality of the monk. There are other qualities. What are these other attributes? They understand the mysteries of the preachings of God. So they are a scholar, very learned, and they understand the mysteries of the preachings of God. What else? What are the other attributes? They are always busy in contemplation. So a true monk is naked and they understand the mysteries of the preachings of God. They are busy in contemplation and the study of the self. They have no worldly belongings, right? As such, they are without their worries. Worry is only there when you have some belongings. Now, if you go in a train and if you are carrying, say, 100 1 kilo of gold, then you are always worried. Somebody might pick up and somebody might take it and go away. So he has to take care of that gold the whole travel time. But these monks don't have any worldly belongings, so they don't have any worries of that sort. they have no desire for sensual joys. So इनको 5 इंद्रियों के विषय का भी लालसा नहीं होती. Such ascetics are called monks. So ascetics means tapasvi. A person who practices penance is called tapasvi. So such ascetics are called monks. So we have seen quite a few of qualities. The first one was about he must be naked. The second one is he knows the mysteries of all the preachings. The third one was he was always busy in contemplation and study of the self. Fourth one was they have no worldly belongings. As such, they have no worries. And then next one is they have no desire for sensual joys. And the last one is they are tapasvi. Such ascetics are called monks. They must also be very learned. This is again a good quality. They are very learned. Of course, none can really adopt asceticism without the knowledge of the self. So, without gaining the true knowledge of the self, none can really adapt to true asceticism. Subodh, do you mean to say that without self-consciousness, all the external conduct and observances are useless? The root of the matter is to understand the soul and rest in it. Right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. These three are the chief qualities that a soul should have in order to become a monk. And external mode of life according to the scriptures. So a true monk is living a life as per written, whatever the discipline written in our scriptures. So these are the qualities of a true monk. So we have seen the qualities of a true God and then true scriptures and now true monk. So you are going to offer your homage to this? I shall also accompany you, but tell me what we shall gain therefrom. So when we do puja, then what we shall gain from it. So whose puja we do? We do puja of true God and true scriptures and true monk. Sache Dev Shastra Guru. Prabodh, you are again talking nonsense. We worship them in order to become like them. So our primary motive is why we are worshipping them, because we want to become like them. They renounced all worldly possessions. उन्होंने संसार के सारे परिग्रह को छोड़ा है. How is it proper to beg worldly things from them? So indirectly, they are conveying us the message that we should not go to God and ask for worldly comforts, right? Or worldly possessions. Because they are themselves devoid of worldly possessions. So why should we beg from them worldly possessions which they are not having in the first place? So there are two things from this. One is we should not beg anything from the true God for worldly benefits, first one. And the second one is we worship them in order to become like them. This is very important. And since they have attained complete passionlessness or the partial passionlessness, we should also be following on their footsteps, on the steps enumerated by them, and become one like them. So this is the benefit of knowing true God, true scriptures, and true monk. So this was all about it. Next in the sequence is errors in understanding the 7 fundamentals. This is also a very good chapter, and this has been taken from Chhe Dala. So, okay. So we'll be studying about this on Friday, 9 to 10 p.m. Any questions? Otherwise, we'll close for today.
Sir, I just have a small question regarding this chapter, regarding the assignment. And if you
Pardon?
read in I
Your
have a
voice
small
is not
doubt.
clear. Voice is not clear. Yeah.
I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Not regarding to this unit, but regarding to the assignment.
Mhm.
Should we write assignment each chapter we have to write for 4 pages, or all the 4 chapters we have to write for 6 pages?
So minimum, you have 8 chapters in Vitrag Vigyan 1, right?
Yeah.
Out of 8 chapters, I am giving you a choice that you write any 4, or you can any 5, you can write any 6, you can write any 7, you can write any 8. Just summary.
Okay.
So if you are writing 4, only 4,
Okay.
you can give more space to those things, and you can explain it nicely. So
Okay,
that,
you are saying that you can write 4 chapters for 6 pages.
yes, you anything from 4 chapter to 8 chapter, depend.
Okay, fine.
Your choice. So
Okay.
again, it is maximum is 6 pages, minimum is 2 pages also. You can
Okay, fine.
use the matter in 2 pages, and then maximum it is 6 pages, and then you must write 1 page on myth buster. Half page or more than half page, or maximum 1 page on myth buster. That is what changes you made in your life after learning about the
4 chapters, what you have summarized.
4 chapters or 8 chapters, whatever it is.
Yeah, that is the summarization. That is what qualities we have imbibed in your life should be at the end.
Yeah, that is mythbuster. So earlier used to think that way, which was not true. And now just by reading these scriptures, you now know the truth about it. So that is your mythbuster. Your myth has been busted.
Okay.
Earlier
That is combination of all the chapters, whatever I am writing.
Yeah, any of the chapters.
Okay.
Yeah, not only you are writing, but even others also. If you are writing only 4 chapters, but you take it from other 4 chapters also, which you are not writing.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Mythbuster is anything on the from the textbook.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else has any questions?
Sir, those 18 that.
Yeah, you want to write it down? We have 2 minutes. You can write down. Hunger.
Hunger. Okay, fine, sir.
Thirst. Senility. Senility is old age. Then we have disease.
Sir, what?
Senility. Senility. Senility is old age. Then 4th one is disease. 5th and 6th, birth, death. 7, 8, fear, pride. 9, 10. Attachment, aversion. 11, 12, 13. Grief, worry, delusion. 14, 15, and 16. That is sweat, sleep, and surprise.
Sweat and
Sweat is pasina, sleep,
okay.
and surprise. Surprise is khed, ascharya.
Yeah, fine.
So I'll share you the 18 Hindi words and the English word also. Anything else? Okay, so we'll close for today. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 बार 9 बार मंत्र गिनेंगे। जय जिनेन्द्र।